Welcome to greencardguys.tv. You need to know this. Do not give up on your legal status. Many people fail to respond to RFE or file an application before the deadline. This is why we offer a strategy session for 15 minutes at no cost to you. Not everyone qualifies. First, you need to speak with our CARES team. We receive many requests, so we recommend you answer a few questions on our website, greencardguys.com. Our mission is to help people live and work in America legally. Go ahead and subscribe below and follow and share. Talk to you soon. All right, good morning. It is Tuesday, April 29th, and it's only a little bit over 90 days since Trump took office, took the oath to be president of the United States, and a lot of things have changed. Many things have changed, obviously, for the worse. If you didn't know, if you didn't expect that for some odd reason, you've been hiding under a rock. My name is John Ting. I practice immigration law in the United States, helping you secure legal status to live and work in America legally because the government doesn't care. We care here at Green Card Guys, okay? So if you have a question, drop it in the comments. Don't be shy. Welcome to join the live show as well. If you're on YouTube and Facebook, you can email in for the link, okay? Down below, you see it scrolling down below. And then if you are on TikTok and you want to join a live show, you're welcome to go click on down below. It shows guest. I think it says that guest or little like human, little like people down there. You can click on that to join, okay? If you have a question, don't be shy. You don't even have to tell me you've got a question because honestly, then I have to acknowledge that you have a question. Just ask it, okay? Don't be shy. Let's just get straight to the point. We don't gatekeep over here, okay? You got limited time, so do I. Let's get to it. Thank you so much for joining. If you join for at least 2 minutes, you'll get some value throughout this live show, okay? If you have filed a case, let me know. If you have filed a case and it's pending, processing, doesn't matter how long it's been, put the letter P in the comments for pending, okay? Now, if you, sorry, I'm reading a chat at the same time. If you, now let's take it to the next step though. If you believe it's delayed, put the letter D, okay? You might not know how long specifically should be considered delayed. It's okay. If you just have the gut feeling that is delayed, put the letter D, okay? And also let me know the month and year that you filed it in. For example, like AOS for adjustment, aka getting the green card here in America, or we call CP, consular processing, if you're outside America, okay? Let's see here. Thank you so much for your questions. Okay, Gamwi, GY, you went for your marriage interview. Now it's been 6 days. Do you have to worry? Now, I wouldn't worry in the sense like, oh crap, is my case bad or could you get denied? Yeah, I mean, possibly, to be honest, right? But that shouldn't be the default only, okay? And here's why. Because the government doesn't have a solid workflow, not like a private company like ours. We are always building SOPs, standard operating procedure. If you work for a company, if you own your own company, you should know the phrase SOP. That's how you make sure your team members, your coworkers know how to get shit done, right? And that's how we're able to excel for our clients, by the way, and get things done correctly in a timely manner. Now, but the government, USCIS specifically, unfortunately, no. So you could have a solid case that should have been approved in a timely manner. And there's many people like this, but you have the interview and it's been delayed 2 months, delayed half a year. And then some people have been waiting like a couple years and they stumble upon my live show or one of my videos and they realize, oh, we can sue the government. Absolutely. Now, look, if you just had the interview like 2 weeks ago, then no, we would say, let's wait on it. Hopefully you don't have to hire us. Let's see if you get a decision in at least 2 months. We also have to consider when you filed your case, the receipt date, okay, is very, very important, okay? Because let's say you're one of the fortunate people that you filed your case like 3 months ago and then you just had the interview like last week, then they would say that's not unreasonable delay. Okay. There's no like specific definition of it. Of course, it depends on a number of factors. But if you think your case is delayed, put the letter D in the comments. Let me know which month and year you filed it, and if it's AOS or any other specific application. Okay. All right. Welcome in. If you're just coming in to the live show, welcome. My name is John Ting. I practice immigration law in the United States, helping you secure your legal status to live and work in America legally because the government doesn't care. All right, let's answer the next question. So Game We GY, just let me know when what your receipt day was, and I can give you a bit better insight there. Let's see here. Okay. Thank you so much for the love. Thanks for tapping the screen or clicking like or whatnot down below. And okay, see Kindle. What do you do? Your case is still pending. Looks like it transferred from Queens to Newark. Well, what else is your situation though? When did you file it? Which month and year did you file it? And I'm assuming it's a 485. By the way, I really try my best to answer your questions here on the live show. But if you're like, man, John, you didn't quite hit the mark, or I just know I need more information, please leave a comment in one of my, well, it's easier on TikTok, okay? Meta, YouTube, you need to start listening to this. But if you're on TikTok, you could definitely, well, YouTube, Facebook, comment also. But what I mean is that TikTok, I can reply with the video. They make it a lot easier in that sense. Or you can just DM. Uh, let's see. Okay. Rando Muser, huh? Muser, huh? Interview coming up. Okay. When is your interview and where is it located? Now, of course, a lot of y'all probably have a marriage type of case and application, but if it's not a marriage based, let me know, okay? Because I don't want to make that assumption for everyone else. Okay, Hannah, you're a green card holder with no record. What precautions should you take coming back to US? Um, Make sure that it's less than 6 months of travel. Okay. Now, especially if you're traveling and you come back and maybe it's only been like 3 weeks, expect the customs officer to give you a hard time, even if you're a US citizen. Now, even before Trump was in office, they would ask you, like, oh, what were you doing in Milan, Italy, or something, or Vancouver, Canada? Oh, I had a wedding there for a friend. Usually it's not a big deal, right? You also want to still respond in a respectful manner, okay? Just like dealing with cops in a way, you don't want to give them an attitude in a sense that you want to take the higher road. I know it's difficult. You want to take the higher road in a sense that because as soon as you give them some kind of attitude, you know what I mean? It They're just going to make it more difficult for you. Okay. Now, obviously, if they're harassing you physically, that's a bit different, but still try to take the higher road if possible. I know it's easier, much easier said than done, but in a sense, expect this customs officer to ask you this question. What were you doing in that country? Now, I know the way they ask is rude generally now these days, but here's the thing. You have to understand their perspective. They want to make sure that you're not doing any silly business over there in a different country. And you're like, what would I be doing silly in Vancouver? You just never know. They want to make sure there's no terrorism activity. Okay. That's what I think. All right. Otherwise, why would they need to ask in that way? But it's also kind of wild because do they expect people just to confess upon entry into the United States? So so the other tip you need to know is in terms of how to respond to a customs officer, you don't want to have it too short. Like how when people ask like, "How was your day?" in general, not customs. Custom wouldn't ask you that. How was your day? You would say it was fine. Like that. That's a bit too short in that sense. But so I hope that helps give you an idea, just so you can get on with your day and get through. Okay. I see some questions on. Oh, hello, Faith. Hello, Timmy too. Timito. Thank you for the love. All right. mm, mm, mm. Okay, I see C Kindle put the letter D AOS November 2023. C Kindle, where's your case located? Do you know? My goodness. Yeah, that's a long time. Joey, what do you mean no more loopholes? What kind of loopholes are you referring to? I'm kind of curious. Gamui, you're welcome for the answer. You applied July last year and your interview went very well. Yeah, I mean, that's great, right? I mean, a lot of y'all have very, what do you call like solid interviews, like good interviews. You didn't think anything went wrong. You had the interview together with your spouse or a family member. You thought, oh, that was wonderful. Okay. That was quick. Maybe it took maybe 15, 20 minutes. Maybe even waiting in the lobby took longer than the actual interview. And you're like, yeah, that was great. That was a good experience. And then it's been 2 months, crickets, crickets. You check the status online, crickets, and you're like, damn, actually, was it bad? No, no. Don't second guess yourself, okay? In that sense, don't stress yourself out. If you ever find yourself stressing out, just hop in on my live show, okay? Because I'm happy to share insights. Obviously, I don't know your specific case, but I can tell you generally, USCIS is hella slow because it's the government. They have no, let's put it this way, the government has usually, in general, in any agency, they have no urgency to process your case faster. No urgency. I mean, even think about it for employment based cases, you can pay for premium processing. Think about it kind of like Disney, where if Disney, you get what do you call it? The Genie Pass or something, Genie Plus, we can kind of not cut through the line, but there's another line that's supposed to be faster, which a lot of people pay for the Genie Pass. So the line is just as long, but a little bit shorter. But anyway, for some employment based cases, you can pay for the premium processing, which is 2805 extra fee, and you can get a decision in about 15 days or 15 business days or less. Um, but for family based, they don't have that. Okay. And even if you do pay for premium processing, um, or even if you were to, even if family based had premium processing, that doesn't mean they're gonna give you the interview in X time. That would be nice though, right? All right, let's get to the next question here. So, see, Kendall, you might want to contact us. You probably should contact us about what's it called? About your situation, maybe a mandamus lawsuit, okay? Rashana, thank you so much for the roses. All right, let's go to the see, Kendall, you said transferring. The transferring part is fine. That's not a negative thing. If anything, that is the main thing. If like your case gets transferred from one service center to another or field office to another, it's more so they're actually trying to get shit done. They're trying to process cases, get it to completion. That's my understanding. Otherwise, why would they waste the time just transferring? But I mean, a lot of things are questionable with the government. Okay, let's see. All right, Giovanni KK. If your case gets denied and the I-130 says withdrawal acknowledgement letter has been sent, okay, I don't see what should you do. Well, did you send in Giovanni KK? Did you send in the withdrawal letter, or your U.S. citizen sponsor did that? Um, are you the beneficiary and maybe your spouse filed that withdrawal letter? Then you need to get a Like, are you getting a divorce? So this is a good example. Like, if you ask a question, you got to think about like, can I answer it? I don't know. I need to know more context. I need to know more facts. So if you definitely want a little bit more insight, you can either join the live show or schedule a meeting. Because for a good amount of y'all, I can answer the question like this, right? But in other situation, I need more context. Otherwise, it kind of because it's not an everyday situation. Someone sends a withdrawal letter. And look, y'all. I mean, aside from money and paying the government fee, you you really should consider who you really think about who you get married with. Try not to take this the wrong way. Try to take this in a positive light here. Okay, because I don't know, maybe some of y'all think like, oh, like, yeah, I get along with this person. We had a good time in bed last night, a couple nights. Maybe we should hook up, like get married. No, 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 no. You should not do that. Okay. You gotta think about the journey about the immigration case. It's not easy. Some of y'all think it's a piece of cake, maybe for a couple of y'all. It's a long process. With Biden administration, some of our clients got very fortunate, didn't need to interview. Like, look, here at Green Card Guys, we're not scared of interviews. We prepare you. We will represent you at the interview. That's no biggie for us. But I'm always concerned for literally every client because there's always one spouse that's like, whether it's a US citizen or the immigrant's like, oh, it's no big deal. I don't even have to go to the interview prep meeting with John or one of his associate attorneys. Um, like you just got to think about it. The spouse has to show up. So even if you're in a solid relationship and then you just somehow pick a fight with your spouse the day before, the week before your interview, you should not do that. Don't mess around, okay? Yes, it is normal in the marriage relationship to have, some bickerings. It seems normal. But maybe don't push the buttons, okay, of your spouse that week. Tay, what is DMCA takedown? That sounds like a WWE move. I guess I don't if I don't know what DMCA is. Let's see here. Okay, let me go back up to your RAS traffic quadruple force, two misdemeanor DUI after getting a 10-year card. Oh, before getting a 10-year card with a full and unconditional pardon from the governor. Oh, really? Wow, that's amazing. You got it from the governor? That's even just as difficult probably than as getting one from the president. Can you be safe to file for citizenship? Well, from what I understand, pardon means like it's wiped out. Even with two misdemeanor DUI, you could still become a citizen. It's just about the timing, how long ago. In terms of becoming a citizen, the N400 application, whether it's a 3-year or 5-year rule for you to be eligible, you want to make sure that for those amount of years you have basically a clean record, including not having any overlap with the probation period. Okay. So as soon as that probation period ends or ended, then you can start counting the days or months until you can apply to become a citizen. All right. Hopefully that helps a bit. Private eye, you got a 10-year green resident status, late filing taxes. You just filed in 2020, April 2025. Okay, great. You did know you have to sign up for, you did not, maybe you mean you did not know? Okay, or you did know? No crime. What are your chances for citizenship? Well, thank you so much for trying to share as many facts as possible. Late filing taxes. Okay. Um, did you did you pay off your tax liability? Did you make a payment agreement for your tax liability? If you did private eye, then that'd be fine. You want to provide proof of your payment arrangement with IRS, like a payment plan. But if you still owe back taxes and you didn't get a payment arrangement, you can still file with N400, but then provide that payment arrangement later, okay? Because you're definitely, for becoming a US citizen, you will have an interview. if Now look, if y'all have filed a case and it's for adjustment of status for residency, put it in the comments, AOS, and let me know what month and year you filed it. All right, let me switch back and forth between the different platforms. Thank you so much. Now, again, if you want to join live because you think you might have like a couple questions, or it could be related to the same topic, you're welcome to do that. You have to join down below here on TikTok. If you are on Facebook and YouTube, then you do need to email in for that link, and the email is down below. Okay, let's see here. Tammy, 2023. Okay, which month was that, Tammy? Because now, I mean, if you filed it before April, or let's just say before May 1st, 2025, then I mean 2023, then that'd be 2 years. That's too long. Okay. August. Okay, so what is that? A year and a half? At 15 months, we file a lawsuit. Okay, for mandamus lawsuit. Here's the thing, especially if you're one of those people that have like a travel, you have the itch to travel, your kiddos are tugging at your leg, say, or yelling at you. You got your spouse saying, "Hey, let's go on a trip. What the hell's taking your immigration case so long?" Which makes sense. I mean, they're not immigration lawyers. They don't understand the process. It can take a long time. So if you're at least 15 months adjustment of status, which I think Tammy, you're right around that time. Randolph Muserha, you're around that time period. You need to take action, okay, and file. Take action. Do not wait. We're happy to help you. Look, I hope many of y'all don't even need our services in a sense to file a lawsuit. I think it's quite sad that the USCIS is slow, but I think it's done for some people on purpose. They kind of want to test y'all. They want to see, is it really is, or sometimes they just misplace the file. So don't assume that USCIS is going to do something for you in a timely manner. Eventually they'll get to it. Eventually. Okay, let's see. Many lawyers don't talk about this because they just don't want to do mandamus, I guess. But if you want, and that, so not saying there's an extra certification that lawyers need to get through the federal courts, literally each federal court. I have all of them in Texas. I have several outside of Texas. Okay. I got these certifications because it is nonsensical for USCIS to delay y'all. It's not right. It's not right at all. Chimpy, you've been waiting for an interview for what, 3 years? Holy smokes. I'm assuming you have a 485 case? Okay, you're gonna have to contact us, okay? Rando, yours is next month? Okay, that's good. Is it safe now? Is it safe now to apply for asylum? Maria, Jessica, I mean, especially if you're less than 1 year of entry, 365 days or less in America, and you have some kind of fear of persecution or suffered harm essentially from your country of nationality, then yes, you need to apply for asylum. Don't wait. Okay. If it's been more than a year since your entry and you have not applied for asylum, it's a strategy call. Okay. You need to contact an immigration lawyer. We're happy to help you. Okay. Contact us. Drew, does USCIS ever call an applicant to give them last minute updated interview time? We received calls in terms like maybe canceled interview. We've gotten calls like that. Maybe they overbooked it. Um, it makes sense, right? Because even on a practical thing, like any other company, maybe. I mean, I don't want to speculate, but just an idea. I think of it just like the court system. Maybe the judge, maybe the USCIS officer got sick. Okay, that's reasonable, especially if they're trying to cancel. But look, if you get a call and you're not sure it's a truly a government USCIS employee or someone updating you, then contact my team. Okay. I'm on different message boards with attorneys. We always want to make sure it's not a scam. But the thing is, like, if you have an interview on that day and they reference that date, specific date, then that is likely legit. But if they don't even know your interview date, then it might not. It might be a scam, right? So just the context of the situation. Temitopes Joseph, good morning. Is it okay for your friend to ask her lawyer to request a prima facie? Uh, since she filed last year, so we don't lawyers or even yourself or your friend, like the applicant. You don't. There's not a process to ask for the bona fide determination. That's unfortunately that's not how it works. She had work authorization and parole last year. Okay, that's good at least. Hopefully, it didn't expire yet. Peace on Earth. I remember your comment or this question yesterday. Just couldn't get to it. Did you schedule a meeting with my team or at least email us? Because you say like when people put if, I don't know if that truly means that that happened. But you said if 212H waiver granted by USCIS for a CMIT, not an aggravated felony, can DHS try to remove based on waive crime? I mean, what situation are you in? Are you back in court? Um, did they detain you for briefly again, or are you just more like speculating? I mean, in general, if you were to just hypothetically, if let's say USCIS or the court gave you some kind of approved a waivers in a sense, and then you're wondering, can ICE officer detain you again in the future and then refer you to immigration court? Absolutely. But that would most likely be because a person did something. Okay. Now, of course, that's our general insight before Trump administration, because clearly now Trump administration is like picking people off the streets who are student visa holders, who the quote unquote wrong thing they allegedly did was just exercise their freedom of speech. Just it's just a wild times right now. So it's hard for me to just say like, oh no, everything will be fine for y'all. But I'm not here to fearmonger either at the same time, right? I'm kind of trying to play a fine balance for y'all. But generally speaking, the government does not want to waste your time or their own time. There's limited. I think one of the reasons the one of the reasons you see these videos about these people. It's hard and difficult to call them agents when it doesn't say like the agency on their jacket or anything. Everything's blacked out. There's no signage or anything. Um, I think one of the reasons is because not everyone that's worried like picking people up is a ICE agent. It could be DEA, and they don't want to wear the DEA agent DEA jacket to confuse people, right? So the ICE generally does not have enough personnel to go to every single house, go to every single workplace, whatnot. All right, thank you so much for your questions. Again, if you'd like to join live, you're welcome to do that. That can probably be easier for some of y'all, but I know some of y'all are shy. Some of y'all have followed for several months and then join later to ask a question. That's okay. Take your time. I just want to be able to help y'all out. All right, let's see here. I will probably be live for another 10 minutes. Okay. I gotta be on time for my team today and other meetings. So let's see here. Got a lot of questions here. Oh, DMCA takedown a copyright claim. I don't do that. We focus on immigration. But if you do need a trademark attorney, let me know. Email us, request a referral. I know a lot of attorneys. I intentionally network with other attorneys, really to serve y'all, to help you um, have another professional contact and help you save time. So if you need another attorney or whatever it is in a different state, same state as me in Texas, just email in. No worries at all. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Juve 99. Oh boy. Okay. Does your mom need a 601 and 212 if she has two expedited deportation? Oh boy, we should really talk about that. Um, yeah, allegedly, if she has two expedited deportation, and is she still here or is she outside? If she's outside America, then we can go ahead and get started. If your mom is allegedly still here in America, and if she's in that situation, then we definitely need to review strategy. Okay, because some people need the 601 and 212, but it might not be advisable to even do that if the person doesn't want to leave the US. Okay, even if it were possible for a person eventually would need to leave the US. And so some people don't want to do that. Okay. Let's see here. Mr. JJW, do you did interview late last week? Is it normal for no update? Yeah, unfortunately, it is normal. We've been very fortunate. Oh boy, been very fortunate that we had like you. We tend to get, at least for our office, our experience, we tend to get an update either the next day or like the week after. A couple of times here and there, it could take a month or two. Uh, so yours just last week, and today's Tuesday, so it'll be all right. Just check every other day for now. Hey, make Mac Holiday. But look, if it becomes like 30 days, 2 months, you definitely want to join again my live show or just schedule a meeting. Okay. Let's see. Now, speaking about that, if you do want to join one of our meetings here, I think I finally have it aligned. Okay, great. So if you do want to chat with my team, if you have read our Google reviews, our 4.9 Google review star rating, we try to please everyone. It's a bit difficult though. Okay. Schedule here. Okay. They can let you know, verify your eligibility. They do talk with us, the legal team, to verify as well. So the more information you share when you complete the form and they call you, please share information. There's a few of y'all that don't want to share anything. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you want to save time, share information with my team. Because look, this first box right here, if you schedule during the live show, it only costs this much. And really, we do it this way because number one, some people have no showed. So we got to charge something. And the other thing is that my client care specialists, they take the time to ask us, legal team, if you're eligible. So that's time involved. So take advantage of it. But the thing is that we feel bad if like you're not eligible and you pay 3 digits, right? So we try to save y'all some money if you pick this option. But look, if you're like, well, you know what, John, I just want to speak directly to an attorney, you're welcome to do that. Then you select this option, but it is 3 digits. Timothy, you said they left you with a lot of wrenches to go through into removal process by pulling in millions. I am interested in the data. I really wonder how many people came in through the parole process, whether it was the right way to do it or not. It was something innovative, I think. I mean, there's a lot more descriptive words people can use, whether it's the left, liberal, the conservative, people in the Libertarian Party. It is what it is, right? At this point. But the thing is, like, there's been no time in history that they because clearly the other attempts to try to slow the tide of people, the migrants. So I would there's got to be some kind of chart or some kind of data graph, or maybe not a graph, but some kind of chart in a sense. I would love to see in their annual report. I'll be on the lookout for that for sure. And it was such a discretionary thing. Like if they like. I think it's just kind of like random. I mean, I assumed it was random, but we didn't even help with humanitarian parole. It was such a discretionary thing. We don't honestly, if it's so discretionary, well, yeah, they definitely knew what they were doing. I don't want to turn this into a political thing right now, but um, again, I don't know. I think a couple years from now, maybe right now, we could review for the past 4 years under Biden administration if that was the quote unquote right thing to do. But it was different because before that, people would just there was no like wait period. People would just come in. I know people were actually waiting to get their to get quote unquote approved through the app. So at least there was some slowdown. It's in a sense you got to think it's kind of like taking a ticket in line. Whether you're going to your county office, county clerk, you got to take a ticket and pull a ticket. That's kind of what it is. That's what it seemed like to me. Yeah, they took the iwi part of it for removal. Yeah, but I mean the thing is like not everyone. I think there's a assumption that everyone gets married. Like some people that we talk to, they don't want to get married. They don't want to get married. So I mean, if you don't get married to a U.S. citizen, you have a very difficult opportunity to get legal status in America if you're already here, even with parole. I don't know if people knew that, but I said it. But you can't. Okay, let's get BD a guy, and that's why I'm on a live show to share some stuff. I'm trying to do my part so that people don't do the wrong thing. Hey, what's going on? Good morning,
Hi,
BD.
good morning.
Good
How are
morning.
you?
Good. How are you?
All right. I have a question. My
Sure.
son is about to get married to his U.S. citizen girlfriend. Um, he entered without admission.
Hmm.
So, my question is, can he apply for like parole in place or something? To what step can he take to get his work permit and stuff?
You said parole in place. Uh, that admission. Okay. Is the fiance or partner in the military?
No.
Okay. So the only parole in place that exists currently is the military parole in place. Well, the most common one. But the one that you might be thinking about right now is the one that the last year of Biden last year that is no longer effective. I mean, it was only effective for maybe 1 week,
Oh,
maybe
okay.
4 days. So
Could he have to go home back or?
eventually for the interview, for the visa interview, but it's kind of a long process right now. But if you do want to know all the steps about it, please definitely schedule a meeting, one of these, or the webinar
Okay.
option in my LNK, and of course have them join the webinar or the meeting.
Okay.
Okay, we definitely talk more about the steps involved, but yeah, there is no marriage parole in place. It's much different than the military parole in place.
Oh, so if they get married, he have to wait the whole long process.
um, Generally, right now, the way the processing times are right now, it's about 3 to 5 years for the whole thing. So they have to be committed.
Yeah, they are committed, but he wouldn't get work permit and stuff for now.
No.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Thank you. I will schedule an appointment.
Okay, thanks. Well, yeah, we're happy to share more information. Have a great day. Be safe. She sounds like she's on the streets. Be careful out there. Be careful. Oh my goodness. Y'all are so dedicated to the channel. Green card guys, thank you so much. Let's see here. Um okay, someone named PUTU with a bunch of flowers, sunflowers. How long to wait for cancellation or removal? Um, well, what part of the process are you in? Did you just complete your master calendar hearing and now you're waiting for your trial, the merits or individual hearing? But let's just say you had the trial today. Let's just make that assumption. Let's make that also maybe a bad assumption, but let's just make an assumption that like the facts of your hardship meet the standard, okay, of the law. The judge won't actually give you a decision right now or like next week. It also depends on, I believe there is a limitation on the number of visas, aka the green card, the immigrant visa for cancellation removal. If anyone knows this, but I think it's 10,000. Is it 10,000? I think it's less than that. Let me see. So even when we got approved or our clients got approved, we knew we had to wait for it. And so it's kind of like U visa. You can't. So even it's kind of like the judges will put it on deck in the queue to be approved officially. So you wouldn't receive like an approval or a court order before then to say, "Hey, you're approved, but we're just gotta wait it out." They won't do that. So so it's hard to say. It could be an extra year. It could be another 2 years. For U visa, it's about a 5 year wait time. It seems right now. Okay, let's get Losi Bastian Fowl on here. Okay, there you are. Hello, Losi.
Oh yeah.
Hi. How can I help you?
Hi. So I had a quick question. So we had somebody, different attorney help us do like the I-130 process for my mom. She's currently in Mexico. Um, the only thing is, they called us the other day that he's supposedly retiring or something, and he's leaving the country or something. So that after that's approved or whatnot, that we would have to look for somebody else. So it's been 13 months and it still hasn't, like, the status hasn't changed. So we don't. I was wondering if that's usually normal, like the wait time. It's been about 13 months now.
Oh, the attorney is retiring or something? Okay.
Yeah, something like that. She just told us that as soon as that, because the way it was going to work, she left. She was in the country for over 20 years. But
Uh-huh.
she left. She came in here illegally. Then she left, but she's been out in Mexico again for about 13 years now.
Uh-huh.
So he was going to do like the I-130 process and then do a consular process after. But I guess he can't help with that because he's retiring or something. And she just said that if the I-130 gets approved, then we would have to look for somebody else to help us with
Okay,
that.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it is what it is now. I mean, you just got to find another attorney. Maybe we're happy to help you. We'll see. But yeah, so is it your mom? You said?
Yeah, my mom.
Is your mom outside America right now?
Yeah, she left voluntarily about 13 years ago, but she's in Mexico again.
Okay, for 13 years ago, she went back to Mexico. Okay. So definitely stay in Mexico until um until the interview. Okay. So the attorney is no longer gonna help, like right as of like quote unquote today, or
Yeah, I guess she just said that he's
okay.
just gonna finalize the. He helped us with the I-130 process,
Okay.
so
Yeah,
he's
and that I mean that's good. It's honestly good to know that now rather than attorney not telling you and then just like saying what the heck happened. So yeah, the next step I don't want to make this assumption, but when your mom did live in America before, was she living in America without status for at least 1 year?
yeah. She stayed. She came in here illegally, stayed here over 20 years. Had our
Oh, 20 years. Okay.
yeah,
So then um but she's already been out for at least 10 years. I think you said 13 years.
yeah. She's been
So
out.
So she should not need a waiver based on the information you just said. But either way, she would need to eventually get scheduled for the visa interview in Ciudad Juarez in Mexico.
Yeah.
And then, but that part right there is called consular process. Essentially anything after the petition being approved, the I-130, the rest of the process we call consular processing
Okay.
outside America. So yeah, contact my team and we can give you like the step by step and share
Okay,
that
yeah.
with
So
you.
I'll schedule that and then see because I know we scheduled with somebody and the guys are like, oh well, you could do that, but you're just wasting your time. Like the consular processing, she's gonna be denied this and that. So like he gave our hopes down, and then this other attorney said like, this consular process should work. And he
Okay.
said, oh, this and that. So we're like up in the air now. So we're all like, do you think that's something? Is that like 50-50? I know like you we don't know exactly until, but is that like usually do these cases? Are they, fluid? Do they? A lot of people do these type of cases, or
Yeah, this is part of our workflow, one part of our list of services. Even if I don't know why this other attorney would say it's not possible. Maybe there's more facts that we don't know.
well, and I gave him everything. I mean, she's never been deported or nothing. She did came here
So,
illegally, but like that's what no deportations or nothing.
uh-huh.
But this other attorney said, oh well, she's been out of the country for 10 years, so she won't need a waiver,
Right.
and that's the process he was gonna take. But then I went down to see with the attorney here like a week ago, and he's like, oh well, the I-130 is gonna get approved because you're U.S. citizen and she's your mother, but like the consular process, they're just going to tell you, no, we can't do nothing. I mean, you're not in the military or this and that, and she's not married to a U.S. citizen or something. That there's nothing she can do.
Oh boy. I'm curious. I'm really curious. Have fun with this part, but Google search that person's name.
Yeah.
And just see if they, at least the website, see if it focused on immigration law.
Yeah, that's the weird thing here in Phoenix because I live in Arizona and he's like supposedly one of the top rated ones. Well, I don't know,
Well, is it top rated by Google reviews?
Yeah, by Google.
Oh, because some people pay. There are companies like law firms pay for Google ranking. I don't do that. My ranking's based on the Google reviews. So
Yeah,
that is strange.
get you like
Okay.
all the exact info, and then we'll go. But yeah, we do need somebody to help. Like
Okay.
that second process. Hopefully that I-130 is that like a normal time range for it to kind of be approved. Like
Yeah, 17 months for immediate relative. Did you file the I-130?
no, that attorney did everything.
No, I'm sorry. Are you the sponsor?
Oh yeah, I am.
Okay. So yeah, after you click on my green card guy's name, profile name, then click on this link right here.
Okay.
Or you could just call in. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'll do that right now.
Thank you so much. Take care. All right. So on our website is true and accurate. The information you receive from us, there's a phrase that we say, one of the benefits is help essentially start to finish. Like even if something bad happens to me, God forbid, right? I have a process. Most law firms don't have a process in the event of the owner or the law firm attorney, managing attorney passes away. And I know this is morbid, but here's the thing, or in the event of a retirement, okay, or something like that, right? Like this gentleman's this adult son was just mentioning. Fair Don, yes, I see you. But like, if you have a pending case with us and something happens to me, or if I retire, I want to assure you that you have peace of mind that your case will still continue with green card guys, okay? From start to finish, okay? I have 3 associates on my team. Even if one of them, takes over the practice through an agreement, of course, or without them, but I have another attorney friend help step in my role for some time, there's a plan set up to help you, okay? And the thing is, anyways, I can go on and on about that. Okay, let me answer one question on YouTube here, and then let's get Faradon, then Stephanie, then Cuban Boy 47. Okay, let me try to remember that order. And of course, if you share the channel, share the live show on TikTok, That will be very helpful so I can remember who is next. Okay, let's see. On Jose on YouTube, you submitted your N400 last year, so about 4 months ago, 4.5, and your 751 in December 2023. Okay, so almost that's 1 year and 4 months. Your interview has not been assigned yet. With the current processing time, will your interview be delayed this year? Um, so N400 during Biden administration was definitely less than 12 months. Usually it seemed like 4 to 6 months. Let's see here. So you shouldn't be further delayed. Now, here's the thing about the 751. Here's a strategy. If you filed or you're about to file 751, expect a receipt notice to saying 48 months automatic extension of your conditional residence status. And you might be thinking, oh yeah, what a wonderful thing. It is. It's pros and cons. It's actually USCIS acknowledging that they're so goddamn slow that they're giving you a quote unquote free 48 months. Okay, it's kind of wild, right? And why is that? Because it hasn't always been like that. A few years ago, before Biden, it would be maybe 12 months, 18 months. It just kept increasing. You're like, this is kind of weird. Like, I mean, of course, if you filed it one time, you would only know about that one specific number of months. But so the way to push it forward is to file the N400 application to become a U.S. citizen. And ultimately, an USCIS officer cannot approve your N400 application to become a citizen until the 751 application has been decided upon. Okay. So that's the way to do it. That's a hot tip that many immigration lawyers won't tell you. What was I looking up? 751 online? Okay, let's check that real quick. Oh boy, no one's going to like this number. Uh, it does say 24 months right now, all service centers for 751. Now for N400 to check that takes too long for me to check because it depends on your local city. So it's hard to say a general number for that one. All right, let's get I think I said Stephanie, Faradon, and then no, Faradon, Stephanie, and then Cuban Boy. See? I'm trying good memory. Hello.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. How can I help you?
I have a quick question, sir.
Uh-huh.
I have a conditionally approved letter from USCIS in two cases, and now the issue is that the judge ordered three kind of orders. Those refugees that flights were cancelled, and those who were cleared by USCIS, and those who are comfortable by customs and borders. So, and as I have the approval from USCIS, does one of these three orders or can be applied for applicable for me?
What order did you get?
Those who are approved, cleared by USCIS, those who are flights were cancelled, and also those who are confirmed by customs and borders.
So I don't understand the terminology used. That's not usually the words we use. So what do you mean flight was canceled? By
I mean,
who?
the U.S. The U.S. was due to the suspension for 19 days. Um, in court, the judge said that those who are applied and the flights were cancelled, they have to be evacuated and the flights they can enter inside of US. Those who are confirmed by customs borders.
Okay, what is this refugee program, right? Is that where
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we don't Oh, US rap. Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, cuz President Trump is ridiculous. Okay. So do you have another way to come in?
The only thing that I have.
Because sounds like you're asking me, can you still enter America
Yeah,
using as a refugee? I don't think so. I mean, did you get some new information that indicated to you that you can come in? Because I know that President Trump unfortunately signed an order saying that they're stopping the refugee program. So,
I don't know. Actually, the news was like this, that with a consultation of um, Homeland Security with the State Department. They will provide a report to the White House, and according to the news of Vulture Services, the report is gone, but still it's unknown that what will happen.
Okay, then I think you just got to wait until. And it looks like it says here on this USCIS page about the Refugee Admissions Program, US RAP, says here that no refugees may be admitted in the new fiscal year, which I'm guessing it means 2025 and 2026, until the presidential determination has been signed. Um, I don't think anything has been signed. Not yet. I could be wrong, but I don't normally review the refugee process, but this is just what I see right now. So in the meantime, if it is possible for you to apply for something else, then I certainly do recommend that if it is possible.
So you're recommending which program? Because I have a small brother right here with me as well, so I have to take care of he as well, and we should file for them. Yeah.
So normally people talk about like family options, like if you have someone in America, but the thing is, if you're a refugee, you likely don't have someone that can sponsor you, right? Family based.
No, my uncle is a
Uncle.
citizen.
So uncle cannot help you through the normal family way. It could be a spouse or your parent. But here's the thing. My thinking is that if you're a refugee, or if you could have gone through this U.S. RAP process, most likely you don't have a immediate family member to sponsor you. So the other way is through a different non-immigrant visa, just to be able to come in. So this is what we do. We strategize for people like you to find a different way. Okay. So I know that you may not have the time, but the best way for me to explain it is through a webinar.
Okay.
Okay. So click on, let's see here. When you click on my link up here, it says Green Card Guys, then pick the one that says webinar or rights. Okay. Pick that option, and then there's a drop down menu on the form that says, like work visa or something. And we're going to talk about it. What I usually talk about for you work visa is depending on the season, the time of the year. But right now, I'll be talking about L visa, and O visa.
Thanks so much for
Okay,
the answer.
because maybe your uncle can help you, but indirectly in a different way. Okay.
Let me talk with him. After that, I'm going to schedule appointment with you. So yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, go ahead and pick the webinar option, because tomorrow I'm going to spend some time, at least 20 minutes on a webinar for people who pick the work visa option for like a workaround that most people don't think about. Okay.
Okay, definitely. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All right. Thank you. Bye bye. All right. um. Okay. So we got a couple more, y'all. Okay. So before I get to Stephanie, let me answer D Boy. D Boy, are you the same person as Cuban Boy on TikTok? I don't know. Same person or not? Maybe not. So D Boy 2021. Hello, sir. You got married last year. Congrats. You received a conditional green card in February. You have no dirt on your record. Okay, you're clean as a whistle. That's great. No traffic tickets? Okay, good. Um, I got 2 traffic tickets when I was in high school in the same damn week. That was not a good week for me. But since then, not one traffic ticket. You're okay. Can you travel to an island on the yellow list? Are you a country? You're a national of that country on any color list? I think that's the issue. Is that and that isn't that the crazy thing? Like, if you're not a national of a country on the proposed travel ban, but you're even concerned to travel there, that's the problem about this proposed travel ban. A lot of people are assuming like you can't even travel to that country. Okay, you should refer to travel.state.gov for the travel advisories in that sense. But if you're not a national of that country on any of that list, oh, your mom lives there. Was your mom a national of that country? Well, even if you're not a national of that country, then I think I don't any of this information, by the way, I have to tell you, does not legal advice because my bar tells me my Texas bar license, where I have my license to Texas bar, says this is for social media, this is education and entertainment purposes. Now, look, I'm not going to dance for you right now, okay? And if I'm dancing, it ain't free. Let's keep it that way. So, oh, you're from there. If you're from a country, if you're a national of a country on that proposed travel ban list, no, I do not recommend you to travel there. And I know it's crazy, but because if you travel to that country now, and then next week, God forbid, but next week they implement the travel ban, and then you come back to America and you're like, but I left before the travel ban took implementation. They don't care about that. It's about when you return to America, the timing of that, not when you departed or left the US. Okay. So, yeah, it's not, there's really a lack of information. So, of course, I don't want to tell, I really feel bad. I don't want to tell y'all not to travel to a country on that list, but if you're from there, but at the same time, I don't want you to suffer a challenge or consequence if I could have told you so, that it would have happened. All right, let's get the next guest on. I think it was Stephanie, not the same person. Okay, Cuban, you're going to be after Stephanie. I saw something. Oh, the boy part of it. All right, Stephanie, what's going on? How you doing?
Good, good. So we made progress since the last time I talked to you. I'm pretty sure you don't remember. We have made some kind of progress in my husband's case.
Oh, good.
I had told you before they were trying to say that the 24th was a cutoff date to apply for his adjustment and to submit the petition. We were actually told that it doesn't apply to him, so we're still able to move forward. So I just need a second opinion, I guess.
Uh-oh.
Because
Okay,
we're
what
having a hard
happened?
time coming up with a sponsor because I don't qualify because the household, I guess the household amount and the amount that I make per year. So we've tried with a couple of people and it's been a wreck. So recently we have someone that we submitted. They did not for 2024 make the income limit, but as of 2025 they have a newer job with another pay rate that does qualify. Um, so when I asked the lawyers, they said that what they could do is submit the income tax from the year prior
Uh-huh.
that didn't qualify, submit a letter from the employment just stating like, hey, so and so works here in this position making this much per hour.
Uh-huh.
They would send a letter stating that they calculated it and that they qualified under the 2025 income. Is that something that you personally would suggest doing, or are we going to walk into something that is going to fail?
Yeah, this is a difficult situation in general, but yeah, it's a strategy call. I wouldn't say there's like a perfect way of doing this with a joint sponsor, but were you saying that you have identified a joint sponsor that's willing to help in general?
We have.
Okay.
But the problem is that our lawyers want the tax return from 2024, and they didn't meet the tax bracket.
Yeah. That's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
As
So
long
how?
as long as this year the projected income for this year exceeds that dollar amount.
Okay.
So
Yes.
how
That's
how
where we're
many?
at. I just wanted to make sure because I didn't want to walk into it going off of what just my experience with
Uh-huh.
them
Mm-hmm.
and what they
Yeah.
say, and be like, I trust this. I would rather have gotten a second opinion than to just be like, okay, we're gonna walk into this blindly and hope and pray this works, and if it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't, we're gonna lose time, money, and just be a whole mess. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right, that's what I
Yeah.
needed from you was a second opinion. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
no problem. And by the
All right.
way, even if it does work, I mean, eventually there's a possibility one of their favorite RFEs is about this form.
Uh-oh.
So it can be rectified. It's just being ready for it. It's not going to be
Okay.
perfect. Like, don't. So essentially, I mean, I remember a little bit about your situation before. strangely, but like I think it was the timing of everything. They're being slow.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
but yeah, I
absolutely.
mean, so don't. I mean, I know it's natural as humans to be like, yo, how come you didn't tell me about this? But I'm telling you now, expect RFE about the 864 joint sponsor. They just don't. USCS officers don't like looking at numbers, which is human. None of us
But
like looking at numbers.
what's the RFC like? What does that mean? Does that mean that they're gonna be like, hey, we want more paperwork? Is that pretty much what it is, or are they gonna be like pushback or?
Yeah, some people get different types of RFEs. One about like just like more marriage evidence. Like let's just say you didn't provide more bank statements.
We've supplied so
Okay,
much
so that's
evidence
one
to
thing.
USC.
Yeah. Then the next thing is about like the joint sponsor.
Yeah.
Maybe because last year's income didn't meet it, but maybe some people didn't provide a company letter for your
Yeah.
joint sponsor. So it just depends. I'm just
Okay.
saying, just
And
expect it. If you don't get it, that's great. But
yeah, we plan on doing the
hmm
income tax, the company letter, and the lawyers are gonna say, hey, we calculated this. We know that this is how much
hmm
where the projected amount's going to be.
perfect.
Just so that I guess so that they can not get hit with anything
hmm
more. We
hmm
don't have to supply anything else. Because I think we pretty much supplied everything. We have joint accounts. We've given it. We've done pictures. We've done letters. We've done it all. So I think
Okay,
if they want
good.
anything else, I don't know. We have
That's
plenty.
good. Good.
So it's
I'm
like,
glad you sound happier than last time I talked to you.
yeah, no, I was
See, all it takes is to talk to me, right? So
yeah.
for anyone else, follow and click the bell.
I'll be honest. Talking to you, going off on them, and then getting someone else in contact with me because
There you
I
go.
lost my shit. Because I was like,
hmm
what are you guys doing? What
See,
are you doing?
see, I helped you take action. Love it.
Yeah,
That's
thank
great.
you. All right, thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.
You too, Stephanie. Take care.
Okay, bye bye.
All right. If anything, even if you have a lawyer, that's all good. If I could be your mindset coach or something like that, now I can't be your life coach, okay? I don't have enough energy to give for that. But if I could be your mindset coach for one moment in your life for your immigration case, I'm happy for you, okay? So, and that doesn't cost anything on a live show. If it's outside the live show, it's going to cost some money. All right, let's see, Cuban boy, I think it was. DC Beast. You came okay, I guess you caught the last bit of my 71 information. Why is it taking so long for some? I don't know why it's taking so long. They just traditionally every president I've worked under since Obama, it's what been 13 years for me. There's there's no like reason. They're just slow. They don't care about processing it faster. It's not like, in general, it's not like it's not, I mean, it's in their incentive, actually. I would think out of any application for USCS to process faster is actually the 751 out of anything in the work permit. But yeah, if they really want to detect fraud, I would think that they process these 751s faster. So then if anything, if a person gets denied, they can be referred to immigration court. But I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, I could talk in circles about that all the time. All right, let's get Cuban Boy 47.
Hello.
Hi, how's it going, Cuban Boy?
Hey, thank you, sir. Thank you for taking the request. I got a question. So, I'm a U.S. citizen, and I got married last year to my wife.
hmm
She's from Venezuela. She entered 2022 uh, through the border illegally. So, she, we already filed the I-130. I did it on my own. Not too difficult, with some Google help, and was able to complete it. But I'm navigating now the options of adjusting her status. She right now has a TPS. I've spoken with a couple of lawyers. I guess I'm trying to figure out the best option because they're telling me all different things, right? Each one of them is telling me a different thing. One of them is telling me that the best way to approach this is by closing the asylum court and then moving with the I-30 route. And then others are telling me, nah, just fight for the asylum case. Uh, like, just prepare the case when she goes to the court and fight for it. So I guess I'm a little bit confused.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It happens when you talk to, I think of immigration as one of those, like, it's kind of like going for surgery. I don't want a surgery, so I would want to get another opinion. But then when you get like 2 or 3 opinions, you're trying to figure out which one's the proper pathway. And so how we conduct to provide advice is to share a screen if possible. Um, but please remind me, maybe you said this. Did you say your spouse entered with a visa or did not?
Oh, she did through the border illegally. Her
Okay.
status in the I-589 is airway.
Okay. Okay. So you have an asylum application pending.
Yeah,
And so there's
September this year.
the court date is September.
The master hearing.
Master. Okay, so it's kind of like a pretrial. The judge wants more information before scheduling the final trial. Um, and so the petition's already been filed. You said you asked Google for help, right? I remember that part. You filed the petition, and then when did you file that? What year and month?
It was this year. We got married November last year, but I didn't know we had to file it. So I pretty much got hands on this year. So I filed it in March. So actually, last days of February. So a couple of months ago.
Okay, so the best case scenario is that your a lawyer helped you file a request. I mean, I'm sorry, a motion to dismiss the court case. That's one option, with showing proof that you filed the I-130 petition. Some judges will agree to it, some will not. Um, Especially knowing that a waiver is required, because let's say you were not in court or your wife was not in court, then the typical process is that after the waivers the I'm sorry petition is approved, then you have to file a waiver. But you can't file the waiver when you're got a court case. So it's kind of like saying, hey judge, we have to do this, I'm aware to do this, and I prepared some of it at least, so at least to show that you have started the process, at least internally. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. And actually, that's so this lawyer that I talked to, and I'm pretty much leaning to go with him. But I'm not close. I haven't hired no one yet. But he told me about the motion. He was like, "Hey, let's go with the motion. See what happens." But we're just trying that, and it will most likely get denied. So we're still probably gonna need to go to the master hearing, no matter what. And when I ask him, hey, then why are we going with the motion? Then if you think, we have chances of not getting it approved. And then he says something about the judge knowing, beforehand that we're going for that purpose. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I know it seems strange. I mean, we don't have percentages. Every judge is different too. May depend on the season of politics as well, unfortunately. But if you don't try to get it dismissed, then you never know. Right? It's like life, right? Life advice in general. So, but obviously, if there's not a legal possibility of getting approved for dismissal, then yeah, why try? But there's always a possibility in this situation. Like, look, if you were not married to your wife, I think you're a U.S. citizen, right? You said that. But if she wasn't married to you or anyone else, then no, I would not try the motion to dismiss out of nothing. But you have proof of something. You have the petition, you got the marriage certificate, you got a lot of other evidence, so you can try for sure. It's just that it may sound confusing, especially depending how that attorney explained it. But I know the way it may come off is that maybe the attorney can sound not confident, but that's because we don't want to mislead anyone in a sense.
Well, he did sound confident. I mean, the confidence problem is me that I'm having, because he was the first one that I talked with. When I talked with another attorneys, they were like, "Oh, we think this attorney that you spoke with, he's too positive. Like, for the judge that you have right now, like, the judge is is someone that we kind of classified as a tough one. So he sounded like very confident for seeing that. They told me, like, your best bet is just preparing the asylum case and just going with that.
Oh, okay. I mean, if the dismissal doesn't work, the default after that is the asylum application. So it's just you try one. If that doesn't work, then you go to option backup plan, essentially.
Gotcha.
Uh,
So I guess he was trying more like to give more like opportunities for a solution. Yeah.
exactly, and that's what you want to find, someone who's gonna provide more than one option if possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you have the asylum and process and then someone tells you later like, "Oh, you should have tried this," and you're like, "Damn, how come that attorney didn't tell me that?"
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So it's
Yeah.
better that this attorney that you've talked, the first one, I guess, gave you the option. Talked about it at least. Okay.
I've got one last question. I don't know, if you were able to share this information. State by state is different, but typically, um, do you know like a price range I should be charged for this kind of service?
I can it's I mean, you're welcome to talk to us about that like in a meeting, but I
Yeah.
can't share that here because there's so many factors that every law firm considers. Like for us, we we really consider customer service. We contact our clients almost every month, so there's a lot more time involved,
Gotcha.
right? You know what I mean? So every person is different. Now I can tell what I can tell you, if they just charge like, I would say 3 or less, then you're not going to get customer service after you file the case.
They charge you 5
Yeah, yeah.
for
So,
the motion and
uh
for
huh.
the answer.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you think
So
that's something reasonable?
I think that's about accurate. Uh huh.
Yeah.
Per se. Uh huh.
Okay.
Hmm. But with that, you should expect that you'd be able to. Well, the thing is, like in general, any client, regardless, you pay a you pay this amount or more, right? You should feel comfortable to call a lawyer, a law firm, and get answers, right? But sometimes it's the process. Like for us, we don't. If you call our office, like right now, you're not going to get transfer attorney because if that happens, then we're not going to get work done. You have to schedule a meeting. So maybe some law firms do it differently. You
Yeah,
know?
I feel like these guys they're very good.
Yeah, that's good.
I've been able to get a hold of the actual lawyer a
Yeah.
couple of times via call, and I haven't hired him yet. And
Okay.
yeah, he's very responsive. It's just like as you mentioned before, when you get 3 different opinions, you get like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Especially for me, this is the first time that I'm dealing with immigration cases. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I get, I actually have other immigration attorneys that hop in here, hang out for a little bit when they can to answer questions. We're all here. Immigration lawyers is different than other areas of law. We actually want to help the immigrant community.
Thank you.
So,
I appreciate it.
all right. Good luck to you, Kim and boy. Take care.
Thank you.
Mhm. Um, all right. So yeah, it's a bit different than other practice areas. Not saying it'll be cutthroat necessarily with other practice areas, but we immigration attorneys, we tend to share information more freely to benefit y'all. Let's say for just one basic thing like processing times, like, hey, what's going on in Brooklyn, New York, or what's going on in San Francisco? It seems like hella slow, or Baltimore, Maryland is definitely really slow for 485. We even have like part of our association, American Immigration Lawyers Association. We have a lobby day in DC. Have I ever personally gone? No, I have kids now. It's a little bit difficult. You're younger, so maybe one day. But I do what I can. Okay. I'm here in a live show. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of y'all here. Let me see. Thank you so much for your question. Let's get the next person on. Forever Blessed Kitchen, and then on deck is Genuine Soul. And I think that'll be it for guest. Hello, Forever Blessing Kitchen.
Hello,
Hi.
how are you?
Good, thanks. How can I help you?
So I got I had a biometrics schedule already. I went and I did it, and then they issued me a RFP for my I-485. I sent that in since October, and then I saw that they sent me another request for another scheduled biometrics again.
So you had two biometrics or about to?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that is
I
strange.
already did one. I already did one already, but when I was looking on the notes at the top, I saw that the first one I did was for it said for the I-485 and
I-765, and then for this one, I see 4I-485.
Okay. Did you have something recent happen in your history? Possibly? Criminal history,
No,
arrest?
actually, I'm wondering, when I got the first biometrics,
Mm-hmm.
when I went there, they had made USCIS had made a mistake with my date of birth, stating that like I was born in 2024, and then it took me a while and they changed it, and I only took pictures. They did not do no fingerprints, so I'm wondering if that's the case.
I don't know for sure. It's hard to say for sure, but probably. And I know it's a time away from work, whatnot, or your daily life, but I just recommend getting it done. It doesn't sound like a scam or anything. Yeah, it's just to check your criminal history for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That sounds good though. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Follow for more. Take care. Let's see here. User 6751. How long does a 797 case take? I have no idea. Any notice you receive from the government is typically at the top right is 797. That doesn't mean that's a case. All right. It's just a notice type. Let's get Genuine Soul. You're going to be the last live guest here before I got to get to the meeting.
Good afternoon.
Hello. What's up?
Cool. How are you?
Good. Thanks. How can I help you today?
Please, my question is, I went for my merit hearing in November 8th,
Master hearing in court. Okay.
individual hearing
Oh, individual. Okay. What happened after that?
under defensive asylum.
Okay.
And then just after that, I applied for I did renewal for my work authorization.
Mm-hmm. And then?
And within less than a month, I got the work authorization card renewal.
Oh,
The
okay.
previous was cancelled, and I was issued with a new one.
Okay.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Just only means about work permit. But what happened after individual? Did you get a?
After the individual hearing, the judge told me she's going to give me a written letter in my mail, or she'll reschedule me again. Since then, I never heard from her again.
From the judge, the court? Okay.
From the court, since November to today, my case is still pending.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? And I already have credible fear before going to the individual hearing.
Okay, that's good. But I mean, a positive credible fear is, of course, necessary to move forward to the next step. So, if you haven't received a court decision based for asylum application, it doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. I mean, because judges don't know every country's situation, they have to do research, and then they have to find the time, right? Because every day they have a court hearing, a list of court cases to review. So, but yeah, it's November, so it's like what, 6 months ago, about 5 to 7 months. So yeah, not necessarily a bad thing, and I don't necessarily think that it'd be a good idea to rush a decision. Um, you could call into the court if you want to talk to the court clerk to see if possibly there's any update, because it's been 5, 6 months. I think if you ask in a professional, friendly way, they might take a look into it. But they would, in that situation, they would probably know better than me. It's probably just because they have a lot of cases to review. Hmm.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye bye. So, if anything, a lot of scenarios, let's say at least 50% of scenarios, the questions y'all have, I'm happy to answer. I'm always happy to answer, but sometimes I can give you some insights that I'm like, well, yeah, I'm glad I've shared on social media, because I feel bad if you just pay 3 digits in for like that quick question, right? So please know, even if you have a quick question, sometimes my answer can be a lot more in depth. So if you want a very thorough detailed explanation, whatnot, I do highly recommend that you schedule a strategy session with one of our attorneys. It could be with me. Of course, with me is more costs more than my associates because we all have a lot of different time blocks to do for the law firm, but just something to consider, okay? Grace Light Hub, yes, life insurance with your U.S. citizen hubby or spouse will help. By the way, let me know in the comments if you have a pending case. Put the letter P, but if you think your case could be stuck or delayed, just take it a step further and put the letter D. Put the letter D for delayed, okay? And then tell me your month and year that you filed your case. All right. Let's see here. Oh boy. I'm gonna see if y'all's questions are quick. Then I'll see if we get both y'all in. I got 2 people here. Shoot, I don't know. Remember which one's first. Oops. Whoever can share the live show fastest will be next. Okay, so here's the thing. If you have a question and you don't have time to hang around here for your question to be answered on a live show, then schedule a meeting. One of these options, okay? One of these options. Because you likely need to take action just like anyone else in this community here at Green Card Guys. Okay, let's get Kadia 89. I really got to go soon. Hello, how are you?
Good morning, how are you?
Good, thanks. How can I help you?
I just want to ask some question for my sister um, about immigration status because my sister come here like 2002 and they come with here with legally but they do the silence so they give her like something like withholding. So her daughter is gonna be in June is 21 years old, 21 years old, yeah. But since he come here almost 22 years now, you know. So it's possible to her daughter can be able to apply for a green card or not.
So daughter's over 21 and U.S. citizen?
In June, he's gonna be
June?
21 in June, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the mom is here?
Yes.
Did mom enter with a visa?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, in June, then the daughter can file for the mom and everything, adjustment of status in America, based on what
Okay.
you shared. Okay.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
I can go to your website and take your number to
Mhm.
call you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you can
Thank you so much.
screenshot here
Okay.
if you want to.
Let me screenshot right now. Okay. Thank you
Okay.
so
All
much.
right.
May
Thank
God
you so
bless you.
much.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Let's get EBF camera. Hello, EBF.
Good morning.
Good morning. How can I help you?
Yeah, I just got a quick question right now. I don't know if you remember. I'm under like a green card process by my spouse right now, so they got the work permit, everything, and we got the interview scheduled next month, 16. But I just heard that right now, saying that like the people that overstay their visas are getting detained at the interview, something like that. It's kind of like scary.
For sure.
Yeah, so that's I'm trying to see if that's true.
It could be true, but that doesn't mean it's for everyone that will happen. It's kind of like that videos and the auntie did on TikTok, at least, about like her niece getting put back on a plane back to Philippines. Like, we don't know all the information. I kind of,
Okay.
yeah. So, and it's probably true. Like for example, like the auntie, the niece, I mean, and may probably true that someone did get picked up at the local USCS field office, but we don't know that person's situation. So I definitely don't want anyone like yourself to be fearful of going, because we've had clients who have had an order removal, for example, withholding a removal. They still go to the field office for interview. Unfortunately, I mean, of course, I told my client my concerns to just be ready and just in case. Um, but do you have a court case? Is that why you're concerned, or
No, I never have any
no
court
court
case.
case? So, oh yeah, you mentioned you heard that for people who overstay the visa. So part of it, and usually, if I had to put a percentage, 99.9% of the time, USCS officer will not make a decision on the case. Even if they think they would deny someone, they usually don't make that decision on the spot.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good. Sounds
Uh-huh.
good.
But
I will
if,
get it.
yeah, I hope that helps. Did you get scheduled for interview or
Yes, this next month, yeah, May 16th.
May 16th? Which state?
Portland, Oregon.
Oh, Oregon. Okay.
Yes, yes.
All right. Sounds good. Well, I know attorneys in Portland if you need one. Okay. For the
Okay.
interview. All right. Good luck to
Okay,
you.
no problem. So I'm gonna reach out to you.
Sure.
How do I?
Um, a couple different ways if you want to schedule a meeting. Well, I'm sorry, I should have asked. Do you have an attorney right now?
No, I did everything by myself.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Or more power to y'all. I mean, I know a lot of y'all filed yourself, and that's okay, right? I mean, there's no,
Well,
we don't, I
yeah,
don't.
but right now
s-
actually we need that because things are getting too worse every day. And if I can have an attorney, that would be so helpful. Yes.
Okay. We can check our schedule to see if one of our attorneys or even myself can go. But if for some reason our schedule is booked, then we can share definitely other attorneys in Portland for you. Okay.
Okay, sounds
All
good.
right. Thank you,
Sounds
EBF.
good. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Screenshot this one. Okay. Take care. All right. All right. Thank you so much for your questions. Okay, Isabel, I see you. I'll get you on soon. Here's the thing. Look, there's a lot of people need help. If I could just point you in the direction, even if it's a web page, a website, to share with you that certain processing times are accurate, some are not as accurate, I'm happy to help. Okay. Uh, you don't even have to give me a rose on this platform right here that you do to tapping, but I do appreciate the taps. Okay. Apparently that helps. I don't know. Good morning, Tasha. But here's the thing, whatever situation you're in, you need to, or if you have a case file, I mean, you need to at least know these four scenarios to contact an attorney. Of course, I recommend that you contact us first, okay? At least. But here's not this first one of the situation. An RFE, if you receive a request for evidence, you have 87 days or less to reply back to USCIS. And it may seem like, oh, that's a good amount of time, John. That's like about 3 months. You start chipping away at your deadline, the snail mail might take a couple of days, it might take a week just for you to receive it. And it's 87 days from the date of the letter. It's not 87 days from the date on the postmark or when you received it. It's the date on the letter. And by the way, there has been at least one time that I remember that USCIS did not put the date on the letter. Oh, crazy, right? So obviously we wanted to respond to USCIS ASAP. Here's a second situation. The notice of intent to deny. First of all, don't give up when you receive that. It does not mean denial. You have 30 days or less to reply. Again, with snail mail, you might lose a couple of days. So for those two reasons right there, at minimum, you need to follow my channel, especially if you just pop this feed, this live show just popped up in your feed. Okay. Follow and click the bell for future notifications so you don't miss out on the next live show. The third scenario is if you actually get denied. Okay. You have 30 days or less to file a motion to reconsider or reopen. In some situations, it's better to do that than to refile your case. And the fourth scenario is if your case is delayed. Now, for some of y'all, maybe you just filed last month. You're like, John, how come I didn't get an approval notice yet? Slow your roll. It does take a while. If you file for adjustment of status in general, These days, now that we're out done with the Biden administration, traditionally it will take about 12 months. Hey, if it gets faster for you, wonderful. Okay. We just got an interview. We got several scheduled yesterday. We just got the notice in the mail. And for example, one that we filed right before Trump took office, it was filed like first week of January. That just got scheduled for May. So even though it was before the Trump administration, that took about, it's going to take about 5 months. That's pretty good. Technically 4 months to be scheduled. All right, let's get the next person, Isabel. And now, okay, Isabel will definitely be my last guest today. Thank you so much for your questions.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I had a question. Okay, so my residence card got expired.
Yes. Okay.
November.
Uh-huh.
I still haven't came around just because everything financially, I'm not able to do it. I just wanted to know more or less like if there's by chance like a time frame to where I'm like safe to like like renew my residence card.
Like if you have enough time, you're waiting on some funds to come through. It sounds like the concern. Okay. Well, there's no deadline per se for you, like a grace period. There's nothing like that as a concern, fortunately. But of course, I think you know this, but just to make sure, you will not be able to leave the US. I mean, you can leave, but you can't come back in without some proof. So the card is proof. So just in case you're planning to travel outside America.
Yeah, yeah. It's just usually I'm on it, but it's just me the moment, the time right now is not the best time for me to renew it. I just
Okay.
didn't want it to get like revoked or like
Okay.
like
Yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, no problem. And your question, a lot of y'all's questions is a great idea for me to record a video for y'all. Maybe I can go a little bit more in depth. But here's a cool, uh, maybe like a quick summary for you, is that it's different than a driver license. Okay, if you don't have a driver license, you can't drive. If it expired, you cannot drive. But for resident status, it expires. You're still a resident. Only a judge can revoke your status. Okay, so I hope that helps. So there's no grace, there's no like r- renewal period. You can renew anytime, but of course, when you do get those funds to come through, you might want to consider to apply to become a U.S. citizen if you're eligible. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Wish you the best. Take care. All right. I see. There's comments, questions, and all the platforms. I really, really appreciate it. I see. Uh, Coda, can someone apply for N600 with Medicaid? I don't think that's a concern for N600, regardless of administration. Sorry, I was slow to get to y'all on this one. Jay, you got an RFE for adjustment of status, requesting birth certificate, which you do not have. Should you be worried? Yeah, you should be worried. You got to get that from, is that Nigerian flag? Um, attestation of birth. Check the I-130 instructions for that, okay? And we also cross-reference with the Department of State reciprocity chart about proof of certain documents. Because yeah, certain countries might, depending on when you're born, some countries don't have records like the, I guess, quote unquote, the traditional way, like how America does it by state by state. Okay, so check that out. And if you can't find it though, if you need help with that, of course, schedule a meeting and maybe we can point you in the right direction. Alrighty, I think I got everyone at least on YouTube. On that one. Whew, okay. I need a breather. I need to get some water. I need to get some energy. All right, thank you so much. Please follow if you haven't already. Yo, if you've been here for like 1 minute at least, if you're not followed yet, I don't know what you're doing. Even if this platform doesn't exist soon. Okay, follow for more. Click the bell on your respective channel. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Treat everyone with respect and Be nice. Take care.